So look, the kid was terrific. I mean, let me rephrase. Okay, he was pretty good. He was pretty good, and when I say pretty good, like I think some of the praise from May has gotten a little out of control because what they had out on the field to start the year has been utterly inept. So overall, it is pretty much what I expected from a rookie quarterback making his first start. And when I say that, I mean he made some plays, which we knew he was capable of because we saw the ability in the preseason. The ability is real. He made some mistakes. He took some shots. The game had, and when I say shots, hits, he got hit. The game had everything I thought it would in terms of what his first start experience would be like. But I will say that the ability is hard to overlook. I mean, they haven't had a quarterback with this kind of ability in a long time. And, we got to go back to Brady because anyone that they've had on the field since then hasn't come close to having this kind of ability. Now, I don't think it's all about ability. I think there are other things. But if you want to take that as a positive, sure, take it as a positive, no question.
I don't know how you can't. Like the May part of it is very encouraging. And the way that the first half was going up until that first touchdown throw to Kayshon Boutte, I didn't expect that kind of performance, that he would throw 3 touchdowns. And he made some big mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But they had training wheels on him. Alex Van Pelt had training wheels on him for most of that first half, especially the way it started. Immediately putting him in 3rd and long in his first possession. Run, 3rd and long. And it's like, oh, Jesus, it's going to be this. Then we're not going to really learn anything today. But then we did. And I think with that first throw, and a few throws that he made, you can see that he is the shining beacon of hope for this franchise.
First throw? You mean when he threw it into the cheerleaders?
I mean the first touchdown pass. I'm sorry. No, the first throw was, again, that first series is like, oh, Jesus. So, no, overall, I think the Drake Maye aspect of the game, and I want to really emphasize that, the Drake Maye aspect of this game was a positive. The rest of it we'll get to.
So, you have a hard time getting as jazzed up as some other people. I'm sorry. Like a lot of different reasons. One is, don't you think the game was sort of glorified garbage time?
Yes.
I think when the Texans, after they scored their second touchdown, which was just like a little swing pass into the flat, and the running back walks into the end zone, and then places the ball on the ground. Remember how he sort of went into the end zone and just sort of placed the ball, and it was kind of, I don't know, the whole sort of way he carried himself was, oh, no one's going to touch me on that one, huh? And I don't know, I thought after that point, the game was, for all intents and purposes, kind of garbage time. You know what I mean? And there was, so the Patriots did make it 14-7 at the end of the first half on a 2-minute situation where they caught him. But immediately in the third quarter, the ball's on the ground. You don't get a face mask call, and the ball's on the ground. And the next thing you know, it's like, and I felt the whole thing was definitely not a preseason game, but not your regular competitive NFL game. Do you know what I mean?
Well, offensively, sure. I mean, and after they missed that field goal, I think it would have made it 17-0. Yeah, I think that they were in cruise control offensively. But you want to tell me that Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter half-assed it the rest of the game? No shot. They didn't. Defensively, they were still trying.
That's fair. You're right. I mean, they got after him.
Offensively, though, they win in cruise control. I'm with you on that.
I don't know. I just felt when the running back came into the end zone on that second drive and just placed the ball down, and I felt like the whole Houston team said, okay, we got 52 minutes left to go, whatever it is, and we'll just play it out. So, of course Drake Maye can play, or you saw his potential, right? Obviously, we all have eyes, and that should make you feel good. Did he make the game any more competitive?
Not really, no.
Not really.
No, and again, look, I'll even tell you, so I sort of break this into 2 stories yesterday, Mike. One is the kid's first start. How did he look? What was it relative to what you expected? And again, at one point you asked me at the end of last week, what would constitute a good game? And I said, I don't know, can he get over 60%? Can he throw as many touchdowns as picks? And to me, that's roughly what it was. So I would say that in terms of how he performed, we knew he had an arm. We knew he could run. We didn't know how accurate he would be or how he would deal with the pressure or whether he would run at the first sign of trouble. And I think all of those things happened. So, there are some things you look at in his game and say, the ability's there, but is he still, does he know how to play quarterback yet? I don't know. I
mean, potentially, sure. And you should, I guess I have a problem that when I watch a game, I care about the score. It's a failing of mine. And I'm stuck on it. So, did he get you any closer to winning that game yesterday?
No.
It's debatable.
For like 5 minutes. That again, after that booty touchdown, and then they had the potential of the wraparound score. They come out and have it first in the beginning of the second half. There was that little period. And then there was the sack fumble, and it turned on its head.
They were 6.5 point underdogs, whatever.
Yeah.
7 point underdogs, somewhere around there.
6.5.
Okay, 6.5 point underdogs. They lost by 20. Houston didn't even really try all that hard. In some respects, you're right about the DNs, Murray. But in some respects, I thought the Houston team just sort of the air came out of the balloon after that second walk-in touchdown. You were favored. You were underdog by 6.5. You lost by 20. Your quarterback turned it over 3 times, and for every throw that he made, he probably missed a throw. I'm curious, Jimmy Stewart, how many plus plays, how many minus plays did you have for Drake Maye? Did he have more minuses than pluses?
No, I had Drake Maye for 30 positive plays, and I had him for, I think, 3 negative plays, because there was a lot of plays that I blamed on the coaching staff, which sucked in this game, but only 3 for Drake Maye, I would say.
So I'm curious, we have the big boy tomorrow. How many plus plays, how many minus plays? Yeah, because there were some balls that were just not accurate. There were balls that he completed that just weren't accurate.
Correct.
There were balls that were completed like the Austin Hooper fumble. Kind of a fluky play. But it all started with a bad throw.
Yes.
So it's like,
Mike, I think that we're all grading on a curve right now because we actually have someone who looks like they can actually execute the passing game, and we haven't had that for the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I'm not putting that fumble on him. Austin Hooper's an ass clown.
How about Jimmy? We haven't had it for the first 5 years post Brady.
So there's that.
So it's okay, low bar, but is that what is that low of a
Sadly,
bar?
we've had
Yes.
to readjust.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is now.
Mike, to answer your question, yes, exactly. Exactly. The bar is that low, yes.
I mean, so I know I'm not supposed to care about the wins and the losses. It's not about the wins and the losses this year. I have a hard time with that. I've had a hard time with it from day one, and you know it.
Well, Mike, just be you. It's okay. We've accepted
I am.
it.
So I am. I am. I'm sort of sarcastically, I'm playing the martyr. I don't know if he got you any closer to winning that ball game.
He didn't.
So, I sort of get stuck on that.
He would have against Miami, though. If they started him last week, they would have had a win there. I'm convinced of that.
And to further Murray's point, I'm convinced that they'd be 3-3 right now if Drake Maye had started week 1, like I wanted him to.
Do you believe that, Mazz?
No.
Of course you don't.
I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah,
because
right.
look again. No, but you guys are all assuming that what he was yesterday is what he would have been 6 weeks ago.
100%.
How about the week before against Miami?
Okay, so maybe Murray, you might be right about that. I don't know. All I'm telling you is this: that if people were expecting some sort of magical transformation, that went out the window with the opening gun kickoff. They lined up wrong on the opening kickoff. They committed 9 more penalties. They turned the ball over. They couldn't tackle. It's all the same crap. So again, now again, was I encouraged by his, and I keep emphasizing this word, his ability. Yes, I'm encouraged by his ability. He still has to learn how to play quarterback. So, and I'm not saying that I was expecting that yesterday, because I wasn't. But I would tell you that overall, I wasn't. My jaw didn't drop and hit the floor yesterday because you mentioned this, Mike. The ability he showed yesterday is what we saw in the preseason. He's got a big arm. He can move. And when it all clicks, it looks awesome. I loved the touchdown pass to Douglas. I thought that was a tremendous throw.
Why?
Because he had guys kind of closing in on him. He was in the pocket. He kind of had to throw off his back foot. He still got a lot on the ball. It was accurate. It was a pocket pass that wasn't just, hey, let me take a shot down the field. I know he can throw the deep ball. I know he can. But the ball to Douglas, there was traffic. It was, again, collapsing on him a little bit. He had to kind of zip it out of there, and it was right on the money. Right on the money. That was a good-looking play.
And, of course, the booty throw is next-level, elite NFL sort of arm talent, drop it in the bucket, like, obviously. And it's great. Like, your previous 3-4 quarterbacks couldn't do that. So, like, I understand. You should be excited for that. He is inconsistent, and you can chalk it up to first game jitters, which he probably had, but he did this at North Carolina too. Again, my very amateur 3-4 game scouting sample that I did on him, I told you there would be throws where he'd be retreating on his back foot, flick of the penis, 45 yards in stride, back pylon, touchdown, like takes your breath away. And then the next drive, he'd have a wide open in cut 10 yards right in front of him, no one from him, the ball be bouncing on the ground. And he did this at North Carolina. And so we need to see how much of that is a game one thing and how much of that is just what he is. He's accurate in spurts, or accurate at times, which I guess doesn't make you accurate. So let's wait to see that. I still don't know if he got you any closer to winning the game. Because if Brissett's in there, and not that I'll circle back to that other thing, should May have played or not. But if Brissett's in there, everything's more conservative, everything's just different, and maybe you lose 23-10. You lose by less, but you're still nowhere near where you need to be.
And I'm bored to tears watching the thing.
Right, yeah. I'd rather be fun bad than bad, and they were bad with Brissett.
I know this. I have a potential quarterback on a bad team. I'm entertained by that.
Well, at least you have that, and I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
But my nipples just can't get fully erect when you lose by 20 points and he's part of the loss, and he doesn't really get you any closer to winning the game. And that's a me problem, because I do care about who wins these games. Was it a mistake to play him, Mazz?
Not this week. No, again, no. This week, no. But I would tell you, I still have the same concerns. Like, I don't know. So I know everyone wants to declare this like, okay, yeah, it's a victory. I need to see how the whole thing goes before I'm willing to say he was ready to play and they were ready to have him play. His ability is indisputable. But I am not. I still don't think they can protect him. I still don't think they can be in the right places for him. I still don't think. I don't know how much he's going to get out of it. That was what the concern was. The concern wasn't that the kid couldn't play. I never said he can't play. But look, people are going to turn it into whatever they want to turn it into. I'm just telling you, I need to see how the whole body of work looks and whether or not he comes out of it a better player than he went in. And I don't know that yet.
They're better with him than Brissett. I mean,
that's for sure.
They had to make that change.
Well, they're more watchable, but we just had this discussion. They lost by 20. And it easily could have been worse. I mean, it was garbage. The game was largely garbage time. So I don't know if they make how do you define?
They're garbage. They're not going to win any games, but at least there's positivity and looking at this kid and saying, "There's the future." That's it.
I'm just curious how you define better. Like, if Brissett was in, they would have lost by 27.
Yeah, probably, and I would have been bored to tears.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
that's different than saying better. I don't think he got you any closer on the scoreboard, but I guess we don't care about the scoreboard this year.
Not this season. Give me entertainment.
Yeah.
I need to be entertained.
I know.
4 hours.
I know. Okay. Well, I mean, what can I tell you?
Again, this is grading on a curve. This is lowering the bar to the lowest possible denominator, kind of like the show. So that's what we're at.
So listen, it wasn't a mistake to play him.
Thank
you. I mean, I can take the L on that if that's what you want. I'm not convinced though that he's one step closer. Like, because he played now, he's one step closer to being where he needs to get to. And the sooner you start that, the better. I don't believe that. I've just seen too many amazing quarterbacks skip a year and be the best quarterbacks of all time for me to say that he has to play in year one to be a certain something in year two. I just don't believe that. You'll never get me to believe that. So, and I don't think growth is linear by any stretch of the imagination. For those of us with kids, it's like that with kids. It's not in a straight line. It's not one, bar graph going straight up. It doesn't work that way. One day the kid goes on the potty, the next day he craps his pants. And you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I don't believe that. But he's not going to be, he's certainly not, I don't think psychologically damaged from yesterday. Feels like physically he took some hits, but, should be okay. Like, he's okay. I'm not worried about that part of it. I'm not worried about any of it. But just at the end of the day, the whole point is to win the game. Great quarterback, mediocre quarterback, whatever. I don't care about your fantasy team. And I don't care if you're more entertained. I'll be honest. I don't care, Stu and Murray, about your entertainment level. I don't.
Well, I don't care about your misery. Ugh.
Yeah, right. I live in the real world. I know they're not going to win any games. So if they're not going to win, be fun bad. Yesterday was fun bad.
What Jim said.
The whole point ultimately, and I'm not talking to you birds, the whole point ultimately is to win games. Win games. So he's got to get you closer to winning games before I get excited. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, that'll be 5 years from now when we're on quarterback number 3, who's the first round pick.